thing that was exchanged between the complainant and I. This has been very helpful to me, and somehow, when I address the tribunal, I make it clear that my understanding of what I'm reading here is what it is, and so on and so forth. So, 8th and 9th June 2021, starting at 11:56, this is where we start. Those are charts that took place on 8 June 2021. Right on top. I'm not going to read line by line. I will try to skim through and deal with things that are of significance. Somewhere I will deal with, for instance, allegations that there was a rebuff. I will indicate where there's no rebuff. And in fact, as part of this exercise, I will be showing that, contrary to what has been said about there having been 12 no's, 12 not noses, but 12 NOs, I'm going to demonstrate that that statement is not accurate. So this exercise, I submit, is very important in that I may deal with quite a number of topics under it, because there's going to be a problem if we are to, there's going to be toing and froing, putting this document aside and going back and so on and so forth. So that's why I'm saying, let me go through this document. What we will see at 1856, at page 1156, the discussion emanates from me having met the complainant at her chambers and having conversed with her. This is where she says, "Thank you, Judge, but I don't understand what we talked about. I'm grateful for the fact that you respect my child." You'll recall that she did give testimony about our interaction in her office at a time when I had visited her judge. So I respect everyone. Then there was that emoji, much obliged. There is nothing really of significance even at page 1157. So I say at 1902, "So how many kids have you been blessed with?" She responds, "Only one." And then I say, "Oh man." And then I say, "Girls look after their parents in later life." She responds at page 1158, "Indeed." So, oh yes, then she says at 1904, "Oh yes, she has started already." And then I say, "You hear that? What is her age?" She is turning 12. I'm at 1159 now. And then I then say the age difference is 16 or 18. And then I put this emoji with a monkey closing its eyes. Likewise, laughingly, and with the same emoji, she says,
JP, can I just ask you to slow down and indicate what time you're talking about when you mention it, so that the tribunal can follow?
Thank you very much. So at 1905, Honorable Chair and members, did you really calculate that? 1907, after laughing, I say, "Sendibuza nje, I'm just asking." Then she says, "I'm 37 years at 1908. Then I exclaim, and then she laughs at this with that emoji. I'm saying, she asked me, "Am I old?" Then I say, "You look much younger, nelizwi lelo sana." The voice is similar to that of a younger lady.
Relax, my guy.
And then at 1910, at page 1160, she says, "Younger, not older. Kukuziphatha kakuhle. I behave well, or I handle myself well. Ilizwi," then she laughs at that with this emoji. I say, "Lincinci ilizwi." Then she responds at 1910. Then I say, when first I heard it, I couldn't believe. Then she says, "Carry on, I'm listening." This is how I interpret what she's saying. "What do you mean, kukuziphatha kakuhle?" I'm asking, what do you mean that you are behaving well or you look after yourself? Then, other than what is asked at 1912, at page 1161, there are these eyes and the ear I'm interested to hear more on this subject. She says, I maintain myself well. Exercises keep me younger. Then I say, keep it that way. She then winks at me at 1915. And then I say, Nzauke ndiyijonge. I will consider it. Then
What are emojis? Emojis. These emojis are very dangerous. Must be very careful. Emojis, sending emojis. You know, must be very careful. Look now, winking there. You know,
that takes us to 1162. Then I ask, prove your age. In other words, I'm saying, how would you prove your age? This is a chart at 1919 at page 1162. Then the response, in my view, is of significance. She says, my part would be giving you a task. You are the one who wants to consider me, but my part would be to give you a task. Then that takes us to 1163. To ascertain the content, I ask, come out clear how?
Just a minute.
At page 1163.
oh, chair.
Move over to 163, yes.
1163, at 1923 and 1924, she responds to my question, how? She then says, a chance for you to look at. Then you determine what you are looking for. Then you determine what you are looking for. Then I say, it's not easy, hey? And then in response at 1925, we've got this monkey covering face emoji. Then I say, truth be told, I have no reason to doubt your word. Then, now that's 1925. Then that takes us to 1164. She then says, that means a lot. It's hard to trust these days. Then there's an invitation. Now, moving forward, I'll be talking about requests for pictures and talks around those things. Who sent who what picture? At the level of this chart, which Council has mentioned is a chart of 8 and 9, June 2021. At the same time, I will be pointing to the fact that there is no rebuff at the level of us exchanging or talking about the exchange of pictures. That is what I will endeavor to demonstrate.
164, what?
1164, page 1, at 1927. Then I say, notwithstanding the fact that I had said, truth be told, I have no reason to doubt your word. Maybe a few pictures you send may serve as halfway proof. Then that is a pertinent invitation by me, directed at the complainant, on the topic of pictures, which is what we will be delving into in these next few pages.
Hey, is a PC on?
Maybe a few pictures you send may serve as halfway proof. 1927, 1928. Then, what is their response at 1928? I will try to take more pictures, but currently I lost the most. My phone deleted everything recently. All I wish to highlight is that there is no response that, no, you are not going to get pictures from me. On the contrary, there is a statement that says, I will try to take more, but currently I lost most. My phone deleted everything recently. Then at 1929,
Okay, so this guy is not disputing the fact that they've had a conversation, they spoke about pictures, they flirted, in other words, they were flirting, right? He doesn't deny all of that. I think the problem now is, was it or does it amount to assault? You know, does it amount to sexual what abuse or whatever? Okay, because the way their conversation was going, I don't know. Maybe there is somewhere. Maybe it went off. I don't know, guys. Yo, this thing of flirting in offices. For me, guys, I say it depends on which environment you are in. Okay, when you are in a professional environment like law, like JP, what law things, and you are in those formal, hey guys, I would say in the office, please don't even think about it. Okay, just don't. I would rather say then, now if you guys love each other that much, how about you, one of you just leave, and then you can love each other, but don't do it in office, you know. And as men also, you know, and also as women and men, guys, we have to be very careful. Okay, we just have to be very careful. I don't want to say women have to be careful, men have to, everyone must be careful. Work is work, baba. This thing of you flirting with SMSs and everything, and you are working together, man, it's a problem. That's why I'm saying it depends on which job you are doing or work you are doing. Like, guys, JP, you know, what is JP? Hey, yona leyo. Okusala you are a lawyer, umuntu ophezulu lapha, umuntu obalulekile. Ngicabanga ukuthi kumele ube careful nanoma umuntu ungamthanda kangakanani. Kumele nje angazi but yo now you are talking, and manje you are talking about emojelana, bakhuluma and talking about pictures, talking about all these things, you know. And I don't understand, you know. Anyway, but people live the way they want to live. Okay, I've always said, guys, if you hold a very important position um, in the society, you need to be very careful on what you do, what you say. Either way, women or men, you just have to be very careful because you will end up here. You will end up defending yourself. You will end up taking a person to court. You will end up being asked questions like this, because now it seems like the way it is, the way I'm hearing it, and I also was listening to the lady when he was testifying, it's going to be she said, he said, and I don't know what is the judge going to, the chairperson is going to decide, but it's going to be she said, I said, she said, you know, and I don't know.
I use the magic word high. In other words, for me, when I say high, it was in disbelief that she lost everything. But then I also say at 1930, I'm kidding. Then at 1930, she also says, cool. Then I say, send me few that you've got at 1930.
May I ask you again, JP, to slow down a bit for the tribunal? Thank you.
Thank you, Counsel. Sorry for the speed.
Yes. We are
So we're still at 1164. I have mentioned that the response is I will try to take some pictures and so on. Then 1165. In pursuit of what I had said earlier on, I said, well, few that you've got, the answer is will do. That is not a rebuff. I will do that. She says that at 1930, at 1165.
I will wait, Babala. People are writing. Have to sit there and wait and wait. I'm not a choice.
So on the issue of pictures, I will do. Then at 1932, I've got all those emojis there, the one about eyes, the one about tongue sticking out, the one about monkey closing its eyes, and the one with arms on the head. And then at 2017, there being no response from her, I then trigger interaction by saying, hi, you are silent, Twaka. That's what it means. The response at 2022, once again, is not that I don't like this idea of exchanging pictures with you. On the contrary, she says, oh, ubuzifuna kwangoku na, oh, you wanted these pictures now? Uxolo, sorry, bendisajima. I was busy exercising. There's a term where they say you read the room, you read the room. In other words, you ascertain what's happening. Then in ascertaining her comfortability about this interaction, I say if it won't offend, I say that at 2023. And then 2027, I expressed something about the fingers there. I'm saying it would be good if it won't offend. So it's not that I'm riding roughshod, talking to the complainant without engaging her. Her response at 2028 is to wink.
I stop you there, JP.
I don't
What
even
was your
understand.
understanding of these chats up to this point? What was your understanding of the wink?
In particular, I understood the wink as somebody who is happy to interact with me on this subject. Winking could mean winking in the true sense. When somebody if I were to step out of this room and a lady were to wink at me, or put it this way, I were to wink at a lady, she would know that there's something about that. But I'm just saying she was winking, and my understanding of that winking was, in broad terms, she was just happy with what we were talking about. Winking is flirtatious.
Apart from this wink, JP, up to so far in your conversation, was there any point at which you doubted whether she was rebuffing you or uncertain or uncomfortable?
No.
Thank you. You may proceed.
2028, I say, wow. Now, when one says wow, there's an element of admiration or awe in response to what somebody does. And allow me, Chairperson, to venture and say, this must have been a response to a picture that she sent. I could never have just said wow from the blue. But
Never
I'm
know.
going to
Never know.
I'm going to develop this point.
Never know. Wow. Hey,
Bearing in mind that
JP.
when one deletes,
I'm afraid.
and insofar as I had been deleting for reasons that will be mentioned, it shows here that Mbenenge deleted. But there's something very strange about the complainant's side of things, is that she does not only delete, but she even deletes the reference to deletion. I'm going to develop that theme within the twinkling of an eye. So I say, whoa, at 2028, and I can't think of anything other than that she must have sent me a picture, and in admiration I said, whoa. Otherwise, I wouldn't say whoa to somebody just winking at me, flirtatious though it is. Then I say kulula umtla. Clearly, that related to a picture that had been sent. When I say kulula umtla, take off your garment or your jacket. Then she responds laughingly, Aziko will try later. I don't have, I will try later. Then I say, please. That is at 2029. So at page 1166, we can only jump to 2028 by way of time.
You see, when it comes to chatting with someone on WhatsApp, I don't want to lie to you guys. For me, it confuses me. Okay, Like every time when I'm chatting with someone, I end up being confused in terms of reading what the person, not reading, in terms of how the person is feeling at that time. Even if they can send emojis, whatever, I am very hesitant when it comes to, especially if it's a person that I maybe let's say I have interest in. Okay, when I chat to them with them on WhatsApp, I don't get my hopes up in saying, yeah, maybe I might have a chance. Yeah, maybe then I escalate in a conversation on WhatsApp. I don't do that because I know that you cannot conclude and say, yeah, it means that she agrees with this thing. I would rather see you. I would rather see you talk to you face to face, and then I can see your response. And I think you will be able there to determine whether the person is interested in this thing or not. This thing of you guys making decisions, thinking that a person is interested because he's chatting with you on WhatsApp. Maybe he's continuing with your conversation because he's bored. There's nothing happening on TV. He's just there sitting there. He's like, okay, let me entertain him, and then you also go on and on. And unfortunately, if you entertained him, also he's thinking, okay, it means that the person is interested. That's why when it comes to emojis, this emoji, that's why I don't like them. These days, there is this thing that people like, especially ladies. Yeah, you chat and chat and chat, and then for me, this is what I read on that. Then they send an emoji on the message that you send. Maybe they do their hands like this, maybe to say thanks, or maybe they send a sharp, right? And then to say, okay. For me, when a person does that, it's over. That means I'm no longer continuing with a conversation because it closes me. It makes me to be like, okay, it means the person is tired of talking, is tired of typing. Let me just leave it. Then I keep quiet. I don't say anything unless then she texts again. Then I would know that she continues. I don't know how I can show you, but maybe I will show you guys. I will show one example. I don't know if I will be able to do that. And then I will show you what I'm talking about. When you type a message and then a person, instead of replying, he replies, but puts an emoji to say thanks, to put a sharp and all of that. If you do that to me, I'm done. I'm no longer talking, I'm stopping because it seems like you are no longer want to continue with the conversation. I don't know, guys, what do you think about that? Hey, but this thing of emojis, ladies and gentlemen, it's a problem. And this thing of chatting on WhatsApp, and I'm not saying people cannot find each other on WhatsApp, but it's very dangerous at the same time, because you don't know how the person is really, really feeling at that moment. You're just chatting. You are just trying to read on what he's feeling, and all of that. I don't know, guys.
2028, that's where she says, as Zico will try later, that's 2020. I then please, for that assessment, which assessment? The issue about age that we were flattingly talking about. Say please for that assessment, and then poof, 2032.
Both
I
young,
say
man.
stylish.
Ebana.
I was addressing the complainant. The complainant had clearly sent me that picture. It was not a status picture. It was not uploaded from her status. It was a picture that she actually sent to me. I say, with this indication, stylish, which is compatible anyway with. And then I was admiring.
Where are we now?
We are at page 1166 at 2032.
At what time?
2032.
Mm-hmm.
2032. That is the that is
JP, can I ask you this so that they follow? Why? Two questions. You make the point that that's not a status picture. Could you explain why you say that and how you say that?
because if we take a picture at random. For instance, at random, let's go to page 1223. And there are many of those, just at random, 1223 of the same document, to show how a status picture commented on looks like. Chairperson, this is a factual issue in relation to which a conclusion could be made with relative ease. Page 1223, could we go to 1223? This is where I demonstrate that if you comment on somebody's status picture, then it must have you status. This one is you, a photo that she sent to me. Not uploaded on a status. She did send a picture to me. That is signified by me saying stylish. But then the problem is we don't see her deleting this to which I commented stylish. We don't see her do that. Which then means she must have deleted that picture. She must have deleted the reference to deleted. I'm going to develop this later on, the way I understood it and the way I see it. So, in any event, stylish. This is me commenting to a picture that she transmitted to me, not a status picture that I commented on. I do from time to time comment on her status pictures because as we were conversing, she would be changing status pictures from time to time. I do comment on those. As we go on, I will be indicating. But one thing that should be emphasized here is this is a photo. It is sent to me by the complainant. And when I say stylish at 2032, I'm commenting on the picture or on a picture that she sent me. So that takes us to 1167. After I had complimented her and said stylish, she too responds at 2033. You got a fine eye too. So stylish, you got a fine eye too. And then when I say for final assessment, which I said earlier on, at 2033, she comments to that by closing her eyes. A monkey closing eyes. Chairperson, we've been talking about this emoji, the one of a monkey closing its eyes. I must readily confess that I am not proficient in the emoji language. I don't have a doctorate on this. I studied English, Afrikaans, and Xhosa up to matric. I did English in my junior degree. I did Latin in my senior degree. So when it comes to emojis, I am like a person who processes things the way she sees them. And I want to address, maybe for the first time, this emoji about somebody closing their eyes or a monkey closing eyes. So I don't want to claim proficiency in emojis. But in my answering affidavit to the JCC, I made it very clear that I understood these emojis that she exchanged with me as being flirtatious. I don't need to go there now, certainly not at this point, because I don't want to mar the waters as I proceed to demonstrate the point that I'm working on. I am a Xhosa man. I would say in Xhosa ndingumXhosa.
All right, so listen. What I can say is when it comes to the emoji of monkey closing its eyes, in most cases, when I interpret that to be, let's see, it will depend on the context of the conversation. For example, if I say, yo, Listen. Yeah, no, I think he's right. The thing is, guys, you can't. I think it depends on the conversation, and if you are talking in a conversation, and I think when you look at the context, I think you will understand why the person would close their eyes. In some cases, for me, when a person closes their eyes, like you send that emoji, whatever, especially if I said something that I think maybe might be offensive, that is why I'm speaking. Where if the context, it's very important. The context, it's very important. Let's say I say something very offensive, right? And then if the person, it's like shy. Okay, you see, that is why I'm saying the context is very important. For me, a person when they show or they send the emoji of a monkey closing the eyes, it means to me in this moment where I'm thinking that person is shy at that moment. It's sort of like you are shy. You are sort of like, I don't know, you are shy, like, I don't know. Listen, let me not try and be an expert. What do you think? How do you, what do you think, guys? I don't want you to talk about the emoji because the emojis, people they just send sometimes, even if they don't understand, they just send emojis because maybe, guys, for me also, a person who communicates with emojis, I am very sorry, I don't take them serious. In fact, I stopped talking to them. A person who communicates with emojis. I don't like emojis. Type, man. Type. Tell me. You know? You make me shy if the emoji that you wanted to send is shy. You make me shy. Okay? Just say something, especially if the emoji, you can write it and I can understand. This thing of emoji, sending emoji. It's like, guys, communicate, man. Type, man. It also helps when you're typing. When you type, it helps your English. It helps with you understanding English. Not this thing of emojis. People communicate with emojis. I send an emoji smiling, you send an emoji laughing. I send an emoji closing my eyes, a monkey, you send an emoji smiling. You send it's like you do, and then you think that you are understanding the message, but you are not. At the end of the day, you are misreading the message. Hi guys, let's stop these emojis. Type. If you are happy, say yo, that makes me happy. If you are angry, make tell yo, that makes me upset. If you are just type, people. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. You have a fantastic day. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. I would appreciate all of that. You can find this tribunal, ladies and gentlemen, on SABC. Okay, on YouTube, you can just go there. You will find it. I think everyone sees it, knows it. If you are on YouTube, you can see it. On TV, sometimes they do show it. I will put the link in the description. I think I will remember. I will put it there. If you want to go and watch the whole thing, you can go and watch the whole thing. This one was very interesting because we are hearing the side of the guy who is accused, okay, of whatever. So I think that is very important. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Thank you. Have a fantastic and a wonderful day. I am out.